New Jersey. We have a special segment for you guys. This is Nitha Ramachandra from the NR Media, alongside with my boy Tobias, and we got my guy Rasheed Simmons, a former New York Giant. He owns this place, Simply Southern. But we have a special segment. We're going to talk about Evan Neal, the New York Giants offensive tackle's recent comments to all the Giant fans, calling them sheep, and then he kept saying boo him louder, boo all the players loud. So we're going to talk about that. Rasheed, thank you for having us to come back here for a segment, talk about Evan Neal, and I want to get your thoughts first on this recent comments that Evan Neal did.
Well, first I'd like to thank everybody for coming. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. I appreciate that for supporting Simply Southern. So, guys, thank you. As far as the whole thing with Evan Neal, as we spoke about a little earlier, there were some pretty harsh comments out there. Our guy, Don LaGreca, there's some other writers and things like that calling for his job. And I understand some of the things that he said was definitely harsh, and I know he definitely regrets those things now.
Yeah, I think he did. Didn't he do like a statement? Didn't he take it back or something like that?
Yeah, he apologized.
He did, right?
He did walk it back, and I can respect that, and he probably also said it, under duress, after a game.
Frustration.
And I think we also got to realize, not trying to give this guy any excuses, but he is young.
Yeah.
This is his second year. I know he's dealing with a lot of pressure. I know what that's all about, dealing with the whole pressure part of it. First round pick, the number 4 pick in the draft, University of Alabama. So I made sure I did my homework, just in case he sees this. I do know what I'm talking about. And I also watched.
There you go. I love that.
And I also watched a few of his games. After we spoke this morning, I wanted to sit back and just kind of watch him a little bit, and like I said, I know people are calling for his job, and I know he's a young guy, and he made a mistake, and I do feel for him from that perspective.
100%. I get mad sometimes too.
Same here.
You know what I mean? It's just he's on such a big platform.
Yes.
And it's what he was frustrated about that makes everyone so mad. But
I also see the other perspective.
I get it.
Which is what we wanted to talk about as far as the average guy who he offended, which is. That's who I am. Evan, I flip burgers and hot dogs and chicken for a living. And I do it very, very well. And I've also played in the league, and I understand the pressures that you're going through, and I also understand the pressures that someone who flips burgers and who has a 9 to 5, like you and I, the things that we have to go through, and it's not easy on any level, and there's pressure on all levels, and I get it, it's like we all want his head now, but I understand he's a young guy, and he may have made a mistake. My issue with him is productivity. People are booing you because his productivity is in the basement. Exactly. I watched probably 60 snaps of his. They weren't very, very good. No. People are calling for his job not only because of the comment, because of the play.
Correct.
If I'm putting a bad product out on the table, people are not going to support. People are going to come from my head. He's putting a bad product out on the field. They are collectively, my beloved Giants are putting a very, very bad product out on the field, and people are frustrated. People spend their hard-earned money to go to these games, and they have the right to show their frustration just as he did. Being frustrated. He just pointed his anger, in my opinion, in the wrong direction.
Right.
With that being said, I think he needs to, from a football perspective, really, really hone down on your footwork, work on your games. That means, he has a hard time with movement in front of him, because I've studied you. And if you don't like what I'm saying, I'm at 817 Belmore Plaza. You can always come on down. I'll be more than happy to feed you. You're from Alabama. I got some Southern food for you.
Talk it out.
We can talk
chop it up.
Speaking of that, man,
we can definitely chop it up. And so if he's got any questions or concerns, we're always here. But with that being said, I wish him the best. I hope that he's able to learn from this. I know he's taking a lot of heat. Just get in that playbook, study, do what you got to do, and don't come for the average fan. And that's my whole thing. It's like people work very hard for that. For those seats, for those, that parking. Everything to go in and take their families to these things. And
to hear that, you get mad.
You know what I'm saying? Like
there's both sides. Nobody's wrong.
Nobody's wrong.
It's just a problematic issue. And listen, he said sorry. Just don't let it happen again.
I do feel for him, but he's got to play better. At the end of the day, we can give him a pass on what he said. We get he's frustrated. We know fans are frustrated. But at the end of the day, the New York Football Giants have got to play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm mad. I'm sitting here in New Jersey, sitting here throwing these giant parties. Guess what? The parties are lit when we're winning.
Well, we ain't been winning.
And when we're not, guess what? The party's lit, but it's just because, we gotta figure this out. When we're winning and we're doing this and everyone's having so much fun, oh my God, it's everywhere.
It's a great time. It's
electric.
It's infectious. I remember the 07 season, 2011 season when those guys were going to the Super Bowl. It was infectious throughout the community. It's a community thing.
Last year.
Exactly.
I was like, all right, what are we doing today? What are we doing today?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It makes going to work on Monday a lot easier.
100%.
When your team isn't getting its teeth kicked in like this. So that's the frustration I believe from the fan side.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The working man side, which is who needs to be represented here. So.
Like being from a big market, being in a big market, obviously being a fourth overall pick, fans are expected for them to be playing good right away, high expectations, and he needs to realize that you're in a big market. You're going to get tough fans to be on him. So I feel like he's going to learn from this, and I think by apologizing is a good thing. But I think, in my opinion, like for example, Andrew Thomas, everybody thought he was a bust, but look at him now, one of the best tackles in the game. So I feel like Evan Neal can trend towards this way if he just focuses on the game.
It's early, and let's be real. The NFL season right now is spooky. People that are not good are killing it. People that are killing it are not good. The injuries are incredible. You know what I mean? Anyone, you step up, right now is the time to do it.
As far as Evan is concerned, like I said, he's an Alabama guy. So, how many national titles has that guy tried to play for? So I know he understands pressure. I know he understands big moment. I know he understands, the gravity of the situation on what's taking place today, especially, with his career. And, like I said, he's probably never been on a losing team. Let's think about it. Some of these things may be different from him. I didn't know what it was like to lose, and until I got into college, and came from a successful high school program. He's come from probably a successful high school program to college, and now he's playing this year, and everything isn't all hunky dory, and that's how you see and deal with adversity.
And also, I want to give a big shout out to the Michael K Show. Those are my guys right there. Those are my people. Big shout out to Donald Greca for standing their ground. Ground.
Yes.
He went off. I don't know if anybody saw the recent show. He went off on Evan Neal, and he said they should cut him. Donald Greca even said cut him. Well, but I don't agree with.
I don't agree. I felt that was a little strong. And like I said, if you're going to cut someone, for words, where are we at today? So I don't necessarily agree with that. Now, if you want to cut him because he's been playing, pardon my French, like shit, cut him. Because he hasn't been playing like the fourth pick in the NFL draft. So that's one thing. But cut someone off their productivity. Don't cut someone off because you don't agree with what they have to say. But to your point, I couldn't agree more with Don and what he said. And big shout out to him, and way to stay in your ground. And it kind of gave me motivation to kind of speak up about it, so we could speak from all sides of it. Someone who flips burgers and chicken for a living. So I definitely understand his point, and he's just doing nothing but sticking up for the working man, which what we all are, and giving the people a voice. So I can definitely appreciate it, and I love the fact that he did it, and I love the manner that he did it, because I felt your passion. And that's what it's all about, man.
I got to ask you this. So what advice would you give to Evan Neal now, after him doing this and him seeing all this criticism going on now, talking about him, and he's like the headline on the news now. So what advice would you give him get away from this distraction?
So moving forward for him, I think the best thing is just kind of focus on football. Turn off your social media, turn off all of the outside noise. It's a 17-week season. Indulge into the season. Get lost into the season. Get lost into your playbook. Get lost in the film study, and really, really take it serious and try and turn the ship around. Because if you play better, all this noise will go away. As you said before, it's like we're all getting on Danny Dimes now, because of this and because of that. Well, at the end of the day, last year we were all in heaven.
We was loving him. We called him Danny Dimes.
Exactly. So winning cures all. And I think that as not only as a player but as a team. You know, if they can find a way to turn the page, get back to some winning football in the next couple of weeks.
Bro, just give us W's. You give us W's, nobody's gonna talk nothing. No one's gonna say nothing. We're getting W's. Cool, you heard this the first weeks. We're done. Let's get out of it.
So, you know, that'd be my biggest advice to him. Just, you know, get back into the game, try to turn the ship around, and do what you got to do to play better and put a better product on the field. And I guarantee you, this city will love you.
Done.
So there you have it. And also, Giants play the Dolphins on Sunday. So if the Giants beat the Dolphins, in this story, I will move on. In my opinion, if they beat the Dolphins,
if we beat Tyreek Hill and the squad over there. Yeah. Again, we're going to be yelling Danny Dimes, we're going to be yelling.
It's like, can we turn the season around? Well, we got a couple wins, and then people start looking at the schedule that are winnable or so-called winnable games, and it gives the fans a little bit of hope. And I think that's all we're trying to get is some hope that our season isn't going to be flushed down the toilet, and we definitely don't want Evan Neal and Taylor Swift to be the storyline of the NFL football season.
Taylor Swift is another conversation.
That's another conversation. We'll deal with that later.
But, so everyone, please come visit Simply Southern in Belmar, New Jersey. Now, please, Rasheed Simmons, former New York Giant,
these are amazing.
Owns this place with his mother, Rita Simmons. Big shout out to him. I had a meeting with him last week, and I'm glad to be partnered up with him, working with him, and we got some good things in store for you guys coming in here. So thank you. There you have it. Signing out.
Thanks, guys.
Let's eat some food.
Let's go.